Asher and Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is Pipeman here on the Adventures Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Cam Pipes from 3 Inches of Blood.
Nice. And I like your shirt.
Thank you.
That's a badass shirt.
Yeah.
So, let me see the rest of it. He's got an Iron Man shirt on. That is one of the most badass looking Eddies I've ever seen. I love it. So, you're here at Aftershock.
Yeah, it's been a fun day so far.
Right? Were you shocked with it being the last day of the festival, early in the day, and that many people out there to see you play?
Well, yes and no. I mean, it's always, either way, it's fucking awesome.
Right.
But I think when you go to some of these, we've just played a bunch of festivals in Europe in the summer, and we've had some early slots on those, and it seems like
it's that
the real
there,
diehards are going to be there no matter what. So we've had good luck with people just showing up in good numbers, regardless of how early we're playing. We were on today at like 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we've played at like just after noon on some other festivals overseas. And yeah, a ton of people show up as well. So I think it just shows that there's more people than we realize that are diehard fans, or just people that are curious or like want to check it out. And
I think they hear you and they come over because that builds that curiosity too. They're like, oh, let me check this out.
Well, yeah, I would hope that there's a bunch of people who like are just don't know what's going on. They're like, oh, okay, and they kind of wander over, and hopefully they stick around for the whole thing.
Yeah, totally. And so, which festivals did you do in Europe?
Well, we did 2 separate trips. We did Into the Grave in the Netherlands and Hellfest in June.
I was there too.
You were. That's it.
I love
it. It was hellish in terms of the heat, but amazing festival. Great experience for us. And then in August, we did Wacken and Brutal Assault in the Czech Republic. We did Alcatraz in Belgium, Bloodstock.
I was there too.
Bloodstock was a good time.
I love that festival.
And it was our first time back there since 2013.
Wow.
Yeah, we hadn't been a lot of these festivals. Brutal Assault we'd never done before. Like Wacken, we hadn't played in 17 years. Alcatraz, that was our first time there. And then we also did Summer Breeze in Germany on our first time there since 2008. It's great times.
Do you have one that stood out that was a favorite?
It's really hard to pick a favorite. I will say the one unifying theme is I think everyone had a good time, both ourselves and the crowd. Wacken was rainy, miserable day.
Oh, listen,
but
I was gonna cover Wacken, and I don't know, I had this gut feeling. I'm like, maybe I'll pass this year. And then I saw afterwards, I'm like, okay, good move.
Yeah, maybe if you're like a fan or whatever attending, or like if you're not playing, then I could see it being like a really rough time. Like, it was hard enough for us just kind of like hanging out, finding cover from the rain. And then when we played, it was just pouring like crazy. But the people came out.
It didn't stop anybody.
They were there. Like, our stage area was packed. And they maybe didn't mosh pit in the mud too much, but they showed their appreciation. So that was cool.
And the European festivals, the people that attend them, they're such diehards.
Mm-hmm,
like
they are.
When I watch these people walking for miles with all their camping equipment, I'm like, now that's dedication and that's love of music, because I don't think anybody would do a camping festival like that in the States. We like driving up to our campsite.
Yeah, totally. I'm the same way. I like at least an outhouse nearby.
I know,
and
right?
Some kind of amenities.
Right?
A sink to like wash my hands.
So, speaking of Danny Wimmer festivals, how do you feel the Danny Wimmer festivals compared to European? Because used to be the Europeans were the epitome of a great festival, but now I think Wimmer has taken the good parts of the European, added little better parts over here, and created this, almost a similar scenario, but maybe even better.
I think there's definitely a lot of similarities to the European festivals. I think this is our first experience at one of these big American rock and metal festivals. I mean, we did Ozfest and Mayhem back in the day, but those are like touring.
This is different.
Yeah. To be at a site, it's everything's going on for 3-4 days like they do overseas at one site, and then you're there for a day. I think they're doing a really good job here. So, and definitely would love to be doing more of this, like at some of the other ones around the country, for sure.
And so from your experience today, how do you feel Danny Wimmer treats the artists?
Excellent. We've been welcomed and treated very well here.
See, and
we had a great time. I think everything went really well. All the crew we've met, everyone working the show, no complaints so far. And we're only like halfway through the day, so.
And that's pretty hard to say, because I know that there's a lot of times that there can be complaints by the artists, only because it becomes so stressful if load-in isn't easy, if sound check doesn't work out well, if you're not getting the amenities. What I've heard is like every artist gets treated the same, whether you're the first one of the day or you're the last one of the day.
Yeah, that's how it should be. I mean, we're easy to please, I think. We don't really complain. We've been all over the map in terms of being the first band on to being a little higher, billing at some other places, and give us something to drink and something to eat, and we're good, and we'll put on a good show for you. That's kind of how we operate.
And you definitely put on a good show here at Aftershock.
Yeah, I think we did all right.
There you go.
People seem to enjoy it, so I'm happy with that.
And that's all that matters. And if you enjoy it, too. That's the thing that I look for. I look and see if the band is enjoying themselves, because then we're going to enjoy ourselves.
Exactly.
It's just like that. So what was it that caused you to have the music bug? What thing in life made you think, this is the life I want?
Well, my parents actually encouraged me to, or built an appreciation for music in me. They mostly listened to classical music, which is great. I love classical music, and I have my parents to thank for that. But beyond that, I kind of had to find things for myself. I had friends who exposed me to rock and heavy metal at an early age, and I went on different paths musically. I explored a lot of stuff, had different phases in my life, but heavy music was always there. And that's what's resonated with me the most throughout my life.
And what's interesting, when I was in college in a music class, basically we were told that heavy metal is a derivative of classical music.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you still went in the same path, evolved it to what was personal to you, and took what your parents gave you and made it personal to you.
Yeah, and I wouldn't realize how supportive they were going to be once I became a teenager, because they had me playing piano from an early age. I never really took to it. And then I met a friend in junior high school who could play guitar, and we had similar tastes in music, and we wanted to start a band together. I was like, man, he's like, oh, I want to play guitar too. And he's like, you should learn to play the bass, because I know a drummer, like, you should learn to play the bass, and then we could start a band. So I went to my parents and said, hey, I don't want to play piano anymore. I want to switch instruments and play the bass. They're like, okay. It's like, we're just happy you want to keep playing music.
I love it.
I was like, oh, wow. So it was a pleasant surprise for me. I thought that they were so invested in my sister who played piano, and I thought they wanted me to do exactly the same thing as her, because she got really good at it. But they were like, no, if you don't like it, that's fine. Like, but if you still want to play music, then go for it.
I love that.
They used to let us jam in their basement when we needed a place to practice for a little bit.
That's cool.
Yeah, so they were always supportive.
How many parents in our generation would say that? You know, you never know. It would be more like, get a real job.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, there was a time when the band was doing a little more serious stuff, and we're trying to make a go of it, and there was always like, well, it's cool you're having fun, but, you know, that's not a real career. Maybe you should go back to school or, like, work on getting a real job. The music's a hobby. And then all of a sudden they're reading about you in a magazine, and they're like, oh, okay, I guess this is I kind of underestimated how far this would go. But the support for playing music was always there. It was just, it's like, well, what are the odds you're going to, like, make a living playing a musician?
You still had to prove yourself.
Exactly. But fair enough. Like, they were being practical and pragmatic, and you take their advice and be like, okay, maybe you're right, but I'm going to just see how this goes.
There you go. I love that, too, because that's what it takes. It really just takes a lot of persistence and perseverance.
Oh, totally.
I always say an overnight success takes about 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. There's really no such thing as an overnight success.
Exactly. People think there is.
You got to know the right people in a lot of cases. But yeah, connections is key for sure.
I have a trivia question for you.
Okay.
A bassist trivia question.
All right.
Who is one of the most popular bassists ever in the history of rock music that was originally a guitarist, and because there were 3 guitarists, he drew the short straw of who he was going to play bass?
So it was from a 2-guitar band.
Well,
Then
it
3
was-
guitars, but
Right.
they only needed 2.
Yep.
Oh, man. Famous rock band, you say?
Yep.
Jeez. Can you give me a hint?
I'll give you 2 hints.
Okay.
One of the most famous rock bands, number 1. Number 2, they sounded kind of funny when they talked.
I don't know, Paul McCartney?
Bingo.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
if you go back and listen to his music,
Mm-hmm.
he sounds like he's playing the bass like a guitar. Like, I never noticed it till I heard that, and I listened back, I'm like, oh shit, he sounds like he's playing guitar on the bass. And I never even thought he stood out that much, but he does. So it's wild.
Another Beatles quote I found funny was an interview asking them, it's like how does it feel to have Ringo the Star, like the best drummer in the world? And then one of them answered, like, Ringo's not even the best drummer in the world. Ringo's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
I remember that. That was funny. Now, going the opposite direction,
Yeah.
if you watch, not the Get Back one, but the documentary with, I think it was Rick Rubin, where it was Paul McCartney and Rick Rubin listening to Beatles songs and analyzing it.
Yeah.
I thought it was so cool. Paul McCartney's listening to this one song, and he goes, back then I was just playing with my bloke John.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh my God, I played with John Lennon.
Right.
Like he was fanboying out on John Lennon. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. I think when you get to that level, you become more humble than rising up to that level.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I would hope so. Like, you could take stock of your life and be like,
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
What else do you want to talk about that the listeners need to know that you have upcoming? Or
This is our last show for 2025, and so far we've got playing Hell's Heroes Festival in Houston next March.
Nice.
And we'll see what else happens in the meantime. We're definitely going to keep busy, but we're going to try and write some new songs.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I am totally pumped that you ended your year at Aftershock.
I think it was a good way to finish it up.
Festival, and I love that you were here.
Me too.
Thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipe Man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipe Man on W4CY Radio.